Hey, how's it going? My oh my, has it been a while? I hope that you're doing well. Unfortunately, I can't say that I really am. Some things are looking up, but I'm having a hard day, and these hard days have been happening a lot lately. I'm going through some really tough stuff that I kind of get to by the end of this video. I kind of give you a recap of my year and a lot of the major lessons I've learned from these big events, but my New Year's resolution this year was to really enjoy life, and that doesn't happen in outside events. It's more of a very subtle, omnipresent perception of life and interaction with life that happens inside your head. Enjoyment, joy. And I was really more so in a place of fear this year. So growing up in a dysfunctional family, having dysfunctional dynamics and relationships can lead to you living in fog. Fear, obligation, and guilt. I think that makes so much sense to me. And especially obligation and guilt were pretty obvious for me to see how they played out in my life. But fear is just more subtle and kind of omnipresent. When you wake up in the morning, like, unsure of what exactly to do. Like, my schedule has changed and my living situation has changed. With all the changes, there like comes with finding new routines, and like you can either enjoy that or move from a place of fear with it. And I had a lot of fear involving security and love, you know, finances and relationships, particularly with my family members. I'm pretty good at like being in the moment and having a good time, seeing the best in the situation and in people around me. But even if like I'm having a good time one day, and then like I get a text message that's like really angry, saying a lot of mean things, mean energy coming my way, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna save this for later and be present until I have the time and space to deal with that. And then, you know, somehow that'll retroactively bring fear and like sadness into even happy times that were happening, and like anxiety for the future. So fear just like happens in the moment, but then also affects the past and the future. It's like just this toxic way of life that I'm just not sure if I'm explaining so well right now, but I'm just realizing it is like the root of why I didn't fully enjoy this year to the extent that I could have. So, on a brighter side, while there has been a lot of fear happening, there's also been a lot of love. That's a win. So, say someone says something mean to you, a big lesson, there's a lot of those in this video, try to keep up. A big lesson is no one's going to say anything meaner to you than they say to themselves. So that helps me have compassion for other people, but also I don't say really mean stuff to myself anymore. I realize that I'm not perfect, and that's fine. Things that I used to worry about, like showing up in the world a certain way and, you know, people pleasing out of the desire to earn love, I have kind of let go of, and I'm more accepting of myself, and I like who I am, and I'm nicer to myself and therefore nicer to other people. You don't say meaner things to other people than you do to yourself. Like, everything has gotten nicer and more lovier in most areas of my life, and just the mental landscape within my mind is pretty nice. It's like a nice little garden or forest, something like that. And like, it's weird, it's been a weird balance this year of feeling like really positive like that. Like, I'm happy with who I am and then being so afraid. And it's weird. I don't know if you can understand, but it's been a weird freaking year, and I'm pretty excited for a new chapter. Not only a new year, but a new decade. I really feel like big changes are happening, not just for me. They definitely are happening in my own life, but collectively, there's a shift at hand. So yeah, let me know what you think about this whole fear thing, and there's a long video ahead, so I hope that you stick around. I say some golden nuggets of wisdom, and yeah, okay, peace. Your wizard, Harry. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to all of you who are new here. Welcome back for those returning. I've missed you so much. It's been so long, and I think this video is going to explain why. I've had a really tough month. So tough. And it was a tough year in general. And that is why I was thinking the other day that I failed my New Year's resolution. But then, after having some happy feelings yesterday, I was like, but did I? So I'm just gonna, phones on silent please. One sec. I'm gonna share a lot about my life with you today. And a reason why is to, first of all, encourage you to do your own reflection. Let me know in the comments below, because I want to know what your New Year's resolution was, obstacles that got in the way of reaching that goal, and oh, it's focused on the tree. It's been a while. And if you feel that you are successful in reaching your goal, let me know down below. Also, a reason why I'm sharing is because I think that if you're to listen to any of my advice, you should have a little bit of context about who I am and what the heck I am going through to be learning the lessons I'm learning and what I'm doing, who the heck I am. The first thing that I want to say, reflecting on your own New Year's resolution or any goals that you place in general, when you set a goal and set an intention, like I am going to have hard boundaries, I am going to make some money this year, I'm going to be happy, life will challenge that goal. I kind of see it as being tested as to whether you actually want that goal. Like, are you willing to really fight for it and make it happen? Or like, are you just saying you want it, but life is gonna determine if it actually comes about? Oh my god, I'm running out of space on my card already. Yay! Okay, it's better. So my New Year's resolution in 2018 was know my truth, no matter how it differs from anyone else's. And I felt like I was successful in that endeavor. That was a big year of realizations that weren't normal, that I'd been trying to hide from not only myself, but other people, and allowing other people's opinions and normal lives to sway my knowledge about my life. I think, if anything, this year, 2019, solidified that. Knowing my truth, no matter how it differs from anyone else's, because this last month, what I've been going through is someone telling me that everything in our relationship is my fault, that I should have been everything that I wasn't. When I'm there, I'm not good. When I'm not there, I'm not good. Really sad stuff. And all year, I've been continuing to get to know myself and remember things about my life. I totally ran out of space, and I had to put things onto my computer so that I could empty it off of my card, and that freaks me out, because then what if it all just disappears for some reason or it doesn't work? But the show must go on. Okay, so I was talking about getting to know myself, and I've got to know myself this year, Indeed I have. And by the way, I've been so much nicer to myself this year. Like, some things happened and my partner was like, they don't define you. You are more than that. You are a good person. And I'm like, you're right. These things don't define me. My past doesn't. And I accept my past and who I've been. It's got me here, and I accept everything that is now. And I know that things are going to be good in the future because, gosh darn it, I'm trying really hard. Anyways, I've gotten to know myself. And that realization has really helped in this last month, where people are intensely not only questioning my values and questioning my character, but telling me that I'm not who I say I am, that I'm not a good person in general. So, know my truth. I think that one, feeling really good about. My 2019 resolution was enjoy a vibrant life, and I'm getting there. It's now end of December, but I don't know if maybe these resolutions are meant to be 2 years or 5 years, you know? Okay. I'm gonna start with January and go through my year and kind of tell you guys what I've been going through behind the scenes, and it may fill in a few of the like, why are you now back in this house? Like, why are you in a new house now? Like, may explain some things. Sure. At the beginning of this year, I was working at a psychiatric hospital. I had gone to that psychiatric hospital because the last job I was working at was great. It was working for a small business, but my sister was there with me and we were having issues. She was unhappy there, but wouldn't leave. And so I'm like, I guess I have to leave. Like, I have to take action, because I'm not one to just stay in a place when I'm unhappy. I follow my heart, and gosh darn it, sometimes looking back, I'm like, oh my god, I wish. Anyways, so that's how I ended up at a psych hospital. Just like, okay, I'll take what I can get, even though the reviews on Indeed.com look terrible. And so I was working there at the beginning of this year, hating it, absolutely hating it. I was getting paid nothing for this really hard, stressful work. Depending on who was in that hospital, they could just run off and cause major chaos and upset everyone's day, like possibly, you know, put people in danger. It was just really stressful because you just never knew what was going to happen. What I liked about that job was the opportunity when I had a chance to just sit down with someone who I connected with. I could listen to them, listen to their story, and help them. You know, that is what I want out of life. I want to talk about people's traumas and help them feel better. I don't know why, that's just what I want to do. But I often couldn't do that because there wasn't enough staff for me to go off and talk to people. What I learned from this job was there are some people who have been through way unimaginably worse things than I have, and some people who are just not in the state of mind to be able to change themselves. They need a medication or intensive therapy to change, if they even can change. It gave me hope in my strength of mind and spirit that I can just choose to change, and I just have this fire, this intrinsic drive and optimism and hope that is going to make it so that at one point in time I can enjoy a vibrant life. I don't need to be institutionalized. Not that that's a bad thing, but it wasn't helpful for the people that were there, I felt, because there weren't enough staff. The staff was underpaid and overworked, like to the extreme. 16-hour days, being paid nothing, like less than someone working at McDonald's. And it was just it was bad. I was working primarily in the specialized pediatric unit there, so with a lot of kids who were pretty low functioning on the autism scale, nonverbal, with behaviors, and I found that I enjoyed working with that population. So I went in that direction and I started doing ABA therapy. ABA therapy is so cool. It's all about the ABCs of behavior. So picking a behavior and manipulating what comes before and after it to either increase the behavior or decrease the behavior. And that can be applied to our own lives. So for example, when you go to grab a drink, or like get fast food, what comes before that behavior? Like you get in your car or you come home after a long day, and what can you do after the behavior to either reward it or be like, okay, I shouldn't do that again. You know, like just taking notice. Another example could be thought loops. When you're thinking in circles, the same thing over and over and over, just unconsciously out of habit, when does that usually happen? Like what comes, what part of the day, what are you usually doing? How can you anticipate it? And then what can you do after? Like, can you consciously affirm a different thought pattern or consciously calm your mind so that these thought loops start to dissolve and not be a part of your life so much anymore? As well as learning that behavioral approach to therapy, I worked with these kids, and I still do work with these kiddos who just are awesome. It's so rewarding, so good. But jumping into this field was really difficult. Like, there's a learning curve for sure to any job, but to this job, working with kids who are all so unique and learning how to do it was just not supernatural to me. I just kind of like wing it, and like actually taking note of like everything happening all the time was just like overwhelming, and then like not super consistent. You know, kids have good days and bad days. We have good days and bad days. Something that I learned, another thing, was not to take those kids and anyone's bad day personally. If they are having a really rough day, it's not because I'm doing something wrong. It's totally because that's just how they are feeling for whatever reason. Really applicable to a lot of my life. But it was really hard to learn that, and also to learn that before working and like getting to work on changing these behaviors with a person, we first just have to play and get to know each other and earn like an emotional bank account, like make some deposits in our relationship and let them know that I like them, make sure they like me, because without that foundation, work can't be done. Like, things go awry, way awry. Learned the hard way. Back to January. I started school and I wrote in my journal, I don't know how it would be possible, but I would love to finish school this year in 2019, just wrap it up. I know that there's too many credits to be taken, not enough money to take them all, and I don't know how it would work, but that would be so nice. I would just love that, because this is my 7th year of university, and gosh darn, I'm ready to be done. I just want to work. I want to help people. I want that to be my focus, rather than like having to split my focus between that and school, because for some reason that just is so hard for me to do. I can compartmentalize like and just push my feelings over here and not think about them so easily, but if I have homework to do and a video to do, I just like it's just so hard for me. Anyways, finished that semester and then signed up for a summer class. Had to use a lot of my own money to do that, and a little bit of imaginary money with a credit card to do that. But I'm like, I want to keep the ball rolling, keep the momentum going with school, because I've taken breaks in the past and I just want to keep the ball going. I'm going to take a summer class. Meanwhile, in the beginning of the year, there was family stuff happening. And I don't want to get too personal with this because it's not necessarily all of my own information to share, but I had to let go of a sister after being very concerned for a long time and feeling personally, I can share this because this is my perspective on the situation. Like, I just want to be around you, but know that I can't be open with you about how I actually feel about the situation because you aren't going to accept it. You're gonna get really mad if I tell you that I have a different perspective than you. So I'm just gonna spit and be there and let my heart get so heavy with concern. Yeah, and just not do anything. Just live in that fear, in that place. Then one night, she literally sat us down and was like, I just need your support. I just need you to support me no matter what. That's what I need. And that's what's happening right now. And I'm sitting there like, you know, on the inside, just like banging my hands against like the walls of my brain, like yelling, but feeling so hopeless. And then an explosion happened, and you know, now there's space there. And that was heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Continuing on with family stuff, the only person who wasn't involved in the explosion was my mom. So my mom continued talking to my sister. And to be quite honest, a reason why I started talking to my mom again was in hopes that by talking to her, I could talk to my sister. But that wasn't the only reason. Another reason was it had been several months of not talking to my mom, and I realized that, I don't know, some things weren't going well in her life, and I felt bad for her. Like, not things that she was making not go well, like her health, but like people being mean to her that maybe she did cause, like indirectly. But I felt bad. Also, like, other family members weren't talking to her, and it was Mother's Day, and I sent her a text, and I said, Happy Mother's Day, or something like that, you know, something generic. And she's like, do you want to get dinner? And I'm like, sure. Around this time, also, my partner was not enjoying his work, feeling a lot of resistance himself in his work, and decided to take a job up north, Michigan. And so we moved. We went up north. Before going up north, I saw my mom. I told her that's what I was doing, and she was like, well, all right, nice to see you. It went okay. And then, yeah, I moved up north, got another job doing ABA therapy, took my kitty, really enjoyed a lot of things about up north, like being really close to Lake Michigan and having no one on the road, because driving is a time when I feel people's energies and their motives in the car, and they feel like they're disconnected from people, so they don't have to be nice. They can just be jerks driving, and like you're in a little safe space, so no one will know you, and like there's not really as many consequences for being a jerk on the road. That's how I feel. I just feel like people are inconsiderate and stupid when driving. Fun fact. So up north, there was none of that. It was just empty roads with forests everywhere, and it was just so beautiful to just get out of the same rut that I had been driving in or running in my entire life here in Metro Detroit, and like be in a new place, a very quiet place. And I feel like that's where I'm meant to be. In the future, I see myself being there, but not right now. So we were up there, and there were some difficulties with my partner's job. Things weren't fantastic. There's drama, but yeah, good things, bad things. Anyways, close to the end of summer, I decided to check in with my counselor at school and ask if I was on the right track for graduation next year. And he said, oh, actually, your school changed their requirements. So you could actually graduate this semester. And I was like, oh my God. It wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't taken that summer class. And it's like, it was like answering my prayers, you know, not that I pray, but I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. I knew right away. I really wanted to do this. The thing is, I received this email 2 weeks before classes started. So I could put in my 2 weeks at school, no, I'm sorry, at work, and sign up for classes, but gosh darn, like in all the hurry, I was like, this is really stressful. Okay, can I take these classes? Counselor, does this work? And he took like a day to respond. So like 2 days later, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I did it. So I actually knew a person who was starting his own business and wanted an ABA specialist. And I'm like, gosh darn, how perfect is that? How perfect is it that I can finish school this semester? I am gonna do it. I'm gonna jump ship, put in my 2 weeks on Wednesday, which means that I returned and started school a little bit late. And just, you know, working with clients, it's hard to just give 2 weeks because that usually means that there's a lapse in their therapy. And so there was like considering that aspect. I had really grown to love my clients, and it was really stressful. But I'm like, oh my gosh, my dreams are coming into reality. This is cool. I've worked really hard. This is gonna work. Now let's touch on a couple things that I haven't touched on yet that were an entire year ordeal: finances and health. So when I was working at the psychiatric hospital, I was making like no money. And when you switch jobs, there's a lapse. Okay, so I just ran out of time. Sorry for all these interruptions. I need to warm up on tea, but I'm just gonna keep talking. Where was I? 2 things that were haunting me all year long were finances and health. At the beginning of the year, working at the psychiatric hospital, I was making no money, almost. And so I didn't really have anything saved. And then when you start a new job, there's often a lapse in payment. You know, it takes like an extra couple weeks, and then you get like a paper check before a direct deposit. Or for me, like it took like getting with the clients and training and just, yeah. So going into that job, there was like, a decrease in my savings because I had to use that to live while I waited for this new job. And then that happened again when I moved, and then it happened again when I moved. And at this point, I had like no savings. I had nothing left. And so I feel like for the past few months, I've been running on nothing, just empty. And I've always really prided myself on moving out of my parents' house and taking care of myself. Like if I've done nothing else, at least I am taking care of myself. It's been a massive point of pride for me. And this year I couldn't do that. My partner's been helping me, and while I appreciate it so much, and it's really nice, I'm gonna get to that, friendships and relationships in general, to know that I'm supported, because I am, by so many people. Like have no doubt that if I were ever like in crisis mode, like serious need, people would be there for me, and I'd be there for them back if I could in the regard that they needed. It was like a really big hit to my ego and to my like self-confidence and worth, and yeah, it made me reevaluate how I feel about work and money. So more on that and concluding thoughts coming soon. But health-wise, I have been experimenting with health a lot over the past few years. I know that if I do yoga and work out, I feel good. And I know what to eat to feel good. A nice salad once a day is really great. And then a nice warm dish is really great. Coffee, tea. But one thing that's not great is alcohol. At least in the frequency that I was drinking it throughout the year. And that my friends drink it. And that was like a major challenge for me. It's like doing something different than the people around me. And even further than that, like something fulfilling for me that helps me feel good mental health wise is this: working towards my dreams. I want to help people. I want to make a difference in the world. It's really, really important to me. But when friends were having fun together, I got FOMO hardcore and would not do this and not do yoga and work out, and instead hang out with them and oftentimes drink. And while I had fun this year, my priorities are just different. It goes along with getting to know myself and being able to live my life how I really want to, even if it's different than someone else and how they live and what they prefer to do. So drinking was spending money that I didn't have, and also making me not feel super good. And I didn't have a lot of money to buy groceries and vitamins that would make me feel my best, I felt. But in reality, maybe I was like prioritizing the wrong things for sure. And yeah, a lot just goes into like not feeling good, and then feeling guilty about not feeling good, feeling like I should be doing things differently. And yeah, and after not working a ton because of difficulty in filling up my schedule with clients, things are way that's scary. I gotta go to work here in a second. Okay, work is going good, but it wasn't for the past few months. I had barely any clients and any money coming in, making all of these things just so heavy in my heart. And meanwhile, I was going to school, which is something that I just want to be done with. And I found out last minute that in my haste of moving back here, I signed up for the wrong class. So I have to take one more class next semester. Cultural anthropology. It's gonna be so cool, and I feel like that's so relevant because my philosophy of life is changing radically to this massive big picture, and anthropology is a major big picture. Like in the long run, this is huge. I feel like we're feeling lost because we are animals. Their instinct, their drive for life is to reproduce and keep their species going. We don't have a problem keeping our species going. We are adding people to the world at a crazy rate. Insert graph here. Billions every year. Billions. It's a problem. Or billions every decade. I don't know. Either way, it's crazy. 10,000 per hour. Okay, moving on. I feel like we're feeling lost because our purpose is no longer to reproduce. It's to enjoy life and maybe make the world a better place. Really big idea here. Anthropology. There's a reason, you know, I believe that life has something to teach me with this mistake and with this class. You know, maybe I'll learn stuff that's crucial to my future and crucial to my soul's lessons in this lifetime. And maybe I'll make a new friend that is crucial to my soul's lessons in this lifetime. But, you know, that was like a massive sense of failure in the past couple of months. And instead of looking forward to ending something, I'm like, I messed up. And now, like 4 months more to finish this dream, and it's not a big deal. In that happening, I considered keeping it a secret from my partner and from everyone because I was ashamed and I was in such a bad mood for a couple days, and I was lashing out, especially at my partner because he gets the brunt of things. And he was like, this is not okay. You can't be mean to me. What the heck is wrong? You know, work is going better. You're almost done with school. Like, you have nice friends and a nice house. Like, what the heck is the matter with you? And I'm like, I can't tell you. And he's like, what? Are you pregnant? Are you on drugs? Like, what is it? And I'm like, well, when you put it like that, maybe it's not so bad. So I've been opening up more. And to curtail on that quick story that I just threw out there, that was a really big deal. Failure, shame, secrecy, isolation, openness, lessons. I'm going in a lot of different directions, okay? We're gonna pull it together here. Stick with me. Friendships this year have been amazing. Looking back in high school, I had these friends that I had always had, and we danced a lot together, and then by the end, it didn't go well because they were all competitive and judgmental and actually kind of mean. And just, I lost all my friends at my rock bottom, I feel like. Now, like, looking at the friends that I've gathered since then, I just, gosh darn it. I love my friends so much, and I knew that they love me, which was like my first lesson since rock bottom, was convincing myself that I am cared for, that people care about me. That was like, I didn't believe it. I just didn't. Like, my boyfriend, I was like, everything he did, I was like, this is proof that you don't love me because I'm not lovable. And so, like, now I love them. I know I'm loved. And, like, I don't know, my friendships are amazing. That's been a massive plus. And I realized that above everything, what matters in life is not ambition, it's not money, it's people and connections. I really just, I think I'm getting goosebumps. Like, it's what matters. And there's a lot I could say about that, but I'll save it for another day. And on that note, curtailing on that, not story, just side note, brings me to this month, in which I felt like I was losing my other sister, my twin sister, and was like, you know what, I am not going to take this. I'm going to stand my ground, stand tall in my truth, and not let her issues really get to me. I'm gonna be there for her and just be strong. And then there was a fallout, like a massive, I wasn't being a nice person fallout. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like, I must. Connections, like fear, massive fear and love was involved in me being like, okay, I'm going to silence my truth in here and just take whatever she throws at me, all of the meanness, because of all these different things, I'm just be there, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Like, I want to be there, even if it's so hard. Like, my love is too strong. It hurts me to see her hurting, and I'm scared if something goes wrong. Like, I'm so scared. So I tried, and it took all of my energy this past month. I haven't made videos. I've been present, trying to not like filter everything through this lens of like healing and like thinking things are messed up. I've just been like, okay, like, let's just calm down, and like, I'm gonna be there, and I'm just gonna listen and hold it in, and things are gonna be good. But when I wasn't there was a problem. When I was, it was a problem. What I said, even though it wasn't even my truth, it was just like trying to be supportive, it was wrong, and it caused massive problems. Like, it's not gonna work right now. And so after fighting this so hard, and like, I see such a parallel with my other sister earlier this year. Like, I can't be myself, and like I don't know, like, I see why they think I'm a bad person, but that's so sad, and I just wish we could all just get along. I really do. Like, just everyone sit down and like take a breath and lay a foundation of being like, I really love you, and I know that you love me. Can we please just slowly, with care, try to move forward loving each other? But it's just not gonna happen right now, and that's been the biggest reason why I feel like I failed this year's resolution. Bringing everything to a full circle is because a lot of my year has not been enjoying life, a vibrant life. It's been like really exhausted with all this weight on my heart, worried about my family, you know, and I think that's a lot where the drinking was like fueled. Not that I was like drunk off my ass all the time, you guys, but like just daily, like a little numbing from this intense sadness that has been just present all year long. And that's been in the making for years. Things have been messed up. 24 years and counting, you know? Ending on a positive note, because I do try to do that, even though my videos are mostly having to do with depressing stuff, which I actually enjoy talking about, and like, I don't know, not many people do, but it's just a part of myself that I'm accepting. Like, let me hear about your hardships. That's what I want to talk about. That's the real stuff, you know? But then at other times I'm like goofy like a child. And it's a nice balance. It's yin and yang. It's good and bad. Anyways, why this all could be seen as failing this resolution, at the same time, successes, simple successes, are that by the end of the year, I am enjoying work more than ever. Like, leaving work in a better mood than I've gone to work in, which is like something I've only experienced just because the work was fun, but this feels like fulfilling and fun, like playing with kids and feeling like I am making their life better is awesome, you know. And like, that's a very brief and not comprehensive summary of my work. But also this, like, I really enjoyed this, and this has been a big plus in my year. I feel like it's successful, you know, to how, you know, people comment and say that I'm helping, and that is awesome. Like, indescribably awesome. With school, I learned a lot from my social psychology class, a lot from my physical anthropology class, even though that wasn't the class I was supposed to take. It was supposed to be cultural anthropology class. A lot from my teacher in that class, because she presents herself in a way that inspired me to present myself, and I'm still incorporating that in my life. You know, that's like a very subtle practice, is presenting yourself how you want to. But anyways, my religions class was really cool, and my other classes weren't, but you know, such is life. I enjoyed those classes. I learned a lot. That was good, and I'm going to learn a lot in this next class, even though, you know, it was a mistake. And I learned a lot from that failure and that shame and that secrecy. And I learned a lot from finances being really low. I learned that I want to go to work. You know, maybe that was a whole part of me enjoying work more. Like, I want to work more. I really do. And, you know, re-centering how I spend money and view money. Money is energy, and I was just kind of like throwing it around like it's just there, and it's not. So, and like with health, that is like a really important thing for me. I don't know if it is for you, but like getting into my body, making sure I'm like stretched out instead of all tense. I think that like your body really is a physical representation of how you're feeling in your mind and in your soul. It all works together. It's all one machine. It's all you. And my breath, I've been breathing really deeply and calming my mind, which is another subtle practice. That's good. Now I'm just listing the good things. Okay, on to the hard things. Maybe not being close with my sisters is good, because that really wasn't enjoying life. Being in those relationships. And that's hard, because a part of me still hopes that one day it'll be possible for us to be in a relationship and enjoy it. Something that I've really embraced this year is accepting everything that has happened, and especially what's happening right now, as what's happening right now, and focusing on that. So in the future, when that time comes, that'll be the time to focus on that hope. But for now, I gotta focus on what reality is actually looking like, and accept that as what is for my ultimate best. You know, have that faith, trust that it is for the best. Shoot. Oh gosh, I have to go. So, again, if I missed anything, I will put it in the description box down below. I don't know if I failed. I'd like to think that I didn't, but yeah, I like to think that I didn't. Remember, these were challenges. Challenges to my resolution. I set this resolution, and life was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm going. Maybe finding the good in all of the hard things is how you enjoy life. And I've gotten to pretty, maybe resting, I don't know. Let me know what you guys resolved for this year, 2019, what your resolutions were, what the obstacles were, and if you feel like you were successful in the comments down below. I really, really am curious. And I'm so glad to be back. All of that struggle that I had a hard time talking about just now is why I took a break, but I am back, and I'm so happy to be back. Okay, I ran out of space again, and I'm out of time, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're still here, wow, I know I've been talking forever, and I hope that it added value to your day rather than you just being like mindlessly watching this video. I hope that it added value to your life, and I feel more connected after you watching this, and I hope that you do too. We're in this together, and 2020 is gonna be freaking great. So I'm gonna go to work and enjoy the heck out of it. And I hope that you enjoy the heck out of the rest of your day and week and year and life by finding the good.